Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Art and Outdoor Life here with John. I hope that you're having a great day, a good morning, great evening, wherever you are, and I hope that you enjoy this video. Thank you for viewing. All right, so in this video, I'll be using some lemon yellow, some yellow ochre, I have some white on the side, some burnt umber, and it's like a cerulean blue that I'll be using for the sky. Now my paint's gray. It's a grayish kind of color, which I mixed with Prussian blue, some crimson red light, and a dash of yellow ochre in it. These are the palettes I'm using here. So what I did basically is just kind of wetted them down. They're all messy, and that's kind of how it is right now in the studio here at my workstation. But I want to guide you through here. Of course, I'm using a card, and I thought I'd like to kind of run down this process here. I made this very quick. Fast and loose, as fast as, not fast, meaning is like paint it as fast as you can, but just quick, just, in other words, it's one setting, and this is only one coat. There's no drying off in this. So there with the, it's a hue. It's like a cerulean blue, and I'm using for the sky. And if you notice, I'm coming down to the bottom, more darker on the bottom. In the middle, I'm kind of leaving it a little bit light. Now, when I paint, depending on how I want to paint, okay? Now, there's the mixture of Prussian blue with a little bit of crimson red light, and a little bit of yellow ochre is in that, okay? And I'm, this is from imagination, so you'll see how I do this. Now, how I usually paint is when I want to dry something off, if it's not dry by evaporation from the water, then it's usually me just dabbing it with a paper towel. I don't use hair blowers normally, but they're good to have. So I'm just getting an idea, and I wanted to go over this with you. Basically, it's a basic painting of a pond with a mountain scene, and using a hake brush. This is a 9 by 12, 140-pound cold press. Basic, your typical watercolor paper. And I'm using a variety of brands in this video here. I'm using the cheap Walmart brands, and there's a few other brands that I had that I've ordered, and I only use them once in a while. I just pulled out some brands. So now this is more of your Prussian blue that I'm using for the mountain there. And, one thing is really cool about landscapes, okay? You think about it, really think about it. Okay, you got water, usually water, not all the time. Some kind of water, stream, river, creek, or an ocean, or a pond. Most of the earth is covered with water, and a whole lot of people in this world live along the shores of the waterways. And you think about it. And then the trees. Trees are vital for life, just as water is, right? Okay. Now I'm using burnt umber here, and as you see, the burnt umber, it almost turns into like a greenish color when it mixes with the Prussian blue there. Now you can use any kind of colors you want. This is just an exercise, I guess you would say. Um, in regards to painting, you know, it's all about the process. I've said it many times. It's all about the process. And don't set the standards too high for yourself. Um, just relax and enjoy it. Enjoy it. So if you do it that way, they will come out a lot of times a lot better than you anticipated because you haven't set the bar so high. Okay, so and here I am. I'm dabbing in some yellow, some lemon yellow here. Now some people do this on the palette. They'll mix ultramarine blue or Prussian blue, a darker kind of blue, and I'll mix it with a lemon yellow, and that's how you get your green shades, different shades of green. I like doing it on the paper because I can control it. Like if I don't want a whole lot of brightness in the green, and then I just move it off. But if I want those trees to really pop out, then I'll put more lemon yellow in there. And I've always had this thing about yellow ochre. I don't know what it is, um, but I like yellow ochre. You don't have to use yellow ochre if you don't want to. Just something up front. Now, some people, when they paint watercolors, you know, it's from your lightest color, and then watercolor fades as you paint, right? The pigments get lighter; they're not so vibrant as you know the air as the watercolor absorbs, from the oxygen in the air, and it happens very quickly. So, in this case, I'm just doing. I'm not going over and over again, like dry time. I'm not blow drying it. I'm not letting it dry. So it's wet on wet, basically. And mixing these colors together, you'll get a variety of colors like this. Now, I'm painting this by example, okay? Um, and it's always fun to experiment. Okay, like for here, I'm putting in more Prussian blue, basically, against the darker green that I created. Now, you can use, don't be afraid to use a tiny bit of crimson red light or even a burnt sienna, you know. Now, some people have problems with this, and I don't. Using the card, right? I've heard some people say, "Oh, you use the card too much." To me, I mean, yeah, sometimes I don't use a card at all, but the card creates amazing effects. And sometimes you don't know what those effects are going to be. And the card also blends colors too, as you could see. Now, the contrast in the back, the middle ground there, that I used with the card, you could see by scraping it, it really popped out those rocks or whatever it is, maybe bluffs or something like that. And that's fine. And then you just, the whole painting process for me is okay, now where am I going to go from here? I guess one thing I would say is always keep the colors in front of you. The colors that before you sit down, make sure you know where your colors are at, and basically, after some time practicing and or just painting, you'll understand and you'll get the feel of how certain colors create their own colors by putting them against each other. And that's the same with the card. Okay, I don't always use white, but I'm not afraid to use white. So I'm looking at this and I'm like, okay, well, let me put some white in here. It's not Chinese white. It's just a white hue, basically. It's just white. And I was like, okay, well. Now, here's another thing I want to say about this. Some people, like when you take pictures, photos, okay, it's very hard for people. Like some people will see the grain of or the teeth of the watercolor paper. However, and you'll see it in videos too, in some videos. However, when you see it close up in person, it really doesn't look like that. I mean, it can, but it really doesn't look that bad. So here I am, and with the white, you will get a milky kind of effect, a cloudy effect, a misty effect when you blend it. That is true about white in watercolor here. And there's nothing wrong with that. So, and one of the things I like to do, everybody's focused on, the eyes go different places, right? So, like in some paintings, you might want to put your focal point off to the left, and to counter, to counter it, put something off to the right, so that the eye is always going, it's going back and forth, and you're giving a variety. You're making, you're just painting, but this is for fun. It's for to relax and enjoy yourself. Now the sheen off of here, I just put that across there to make it look nice, But on the edges of this painting, I wasn't worried about the edges, you know. And this is just a basic painting. Just me sitting down having a good time, enjoying this. I like taking the bristles, the tips of the brushes, no matter what kind of brush, and putting them just over trees or tree lines or whatever, and kind of give it like a tree effect. Now, there is no such thing as putting sun, the real sun, inside of a painting, right? I mean, you can, but when you think about it, the sun, you don't really see the sun, you just see the light from the sun. So that's, kind of why there's white in the clouds there, in that sky. Anyways, I want to wish you a wonderful day, a good evening, a good morning, wherever you're watching this. And this is a basic painting. And if you enjoy my videos, please hit like, subscribe, and come back again. I really do appreciate it. And I do this primarily to relax. That's the only reason why I do this, and hopefully to help inspire others. Okay? So enjoy yourself and, paint along if you want to, or, just remember, don't make it so difficult. Just have fun with it. And I want to wish you a wonderful day. Thank you again. Sincerely yours, John. Oh, never forget the wildlife, right? Put some birds in there. The birds make a painting beautiful all the time. You make them small, make them large, as many as you want. They always make a painting look nice. Have a good day, everybody. And a little bit of this over there. Outline this pond a little bit. Just like that. Just like that.